Hey everybody, it's Mike Carey with the One Good Reason. Yeah, we're a little bit off season, but that's all right. Um, I had something that I kind of wanted to talk about that was kind of getting under my skin, and I couldn't really wait until we came back on full season in the fall. I'm going to be having a guest speaker, Jon Hoskins, on the line with us, and we're going to talk about texting and driving. So let me go ahead and add him right now. All right. Hey, what's going on, John?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. So, of course, we're going to be talking about texting and driving. And the reason that I kind of wanted to do this, it was really kind of a fire under my ass after I witnessed something. I witnessed a few things, actually, over the last, 6 months. But this was kind of like the last straw. And I said, you know what, man, I really feel like I just want to speak out about texting and fucking driving. Basically, I saw I was at a stoplight going to work in the morning, and a kid was on his bicycle using a crossing guard. The crossing guard was, he got him about halfway across the street. He passed all of the cars in the front. He was getting ready to get up onto the sidewalk on the other end. And hey, hold up! I don't know if the fan is on right now. Are you hearing that too?
You don't know if what?
Are you hearing that too?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you hearing like a fan?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? That's the AC
Okay.
going, man.
Take it back.
Well, is it loud?
It's a little loud, but yeah, just if you need to fix it.
Okay. Give me 1 second,
That's
man.
okay.
Sorry.
Take a brief intermission.
Intermission.
That's why they have vape and orange juice. Hey, good morning, Xavier.
Yeah, better. Oh, squeaky bed.
Yeah.
Okay, is that better?
Thank you. But I was just saying, I was
Cool.
basically at
Yep,
the
no problem.
stoplight. I was at the front of the line. The crossing guard comes out. He lets the kid cross the street on his bicycle. Kid's maybe 10, 11 years old. He passes in front of me. I have nothing else to do, right? So I'm looking at the kid. He's going by. He's getting ready to get out of the street and get up onto that other corner on the sidewalk. And as he gets right there, I notice there's a second crossing guard who I guess, handles that side of it. So that crossing guard kind of waves to the kid. I guess they see each other every day or whatever. He's getting up on the sidewalk. The crossing guard backs up so the kid on the bike can, get on the sidewalk. This truck barrels around the corner, makes a right on the corner, and knocks the kid off of his bike. So I'm thinking, hold on, it's broad daylight. The kid's wearing bright colors. The crossing guard's wearing bright colors. How do you make the right and not see the kid, the crossing guard, or any of it? So
He was distracted by something.
Okay, so he hits the kid off
Yeah.
the bike. The kid goes flying. People get out of their cars. I got out of my car. You just hear people gasping. I can't see the kid. The other light if I was at that light, the light to my right is starting to release those cars to make a left turn. Does that make sense? So,
Gotcha.
In the
Yes.
front of that line about to be released is a big semi truck with a bed and everything on it. So he has his window down. He's smoking a cigarette, and I yell. I told that guy to lock the other guy in because he was trying to back out and leave the scene.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. And then I ended up calling 911. There's people all around the kid. They're trying to stand the kid up and see if he's okay or whatever. And then I had to jump back in my car because the light turned green and I was in front of the line. So I took off and went to work. And I'm on the phone with the police. So that was kind of something very fucking unsettling. You don't want to see a kid getting hit off their bicycle by a truck. It wasn't at full speed because remember it's turning. but it was still fucked.
Right.
The kid could have died.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
absolutely.
I've been my not to throw my own brother under the bus, but I have a little brother. He was driving my mom's car. My mom passed away. We gave him the car. He's driving the car, and he calls us and says he got into an accident. We're like, are you okay? Are you hurt? He's like, yeah, I'm good. And we're like, well, what happened? He goes, oh, the person in front of me stopped at a yellow light. So we're asking, like, well, how much space did you give them? And these type of questions. And it's like, well, you probably didn't think they were going to slam on their brakes at the yellow light. So fast forward, long story short, it comes out that he might have been texting while he was driving. And it's just nuts because the person in front of him could have had a kid in the car and this and that and the third. The car was pretty fucked up and damaged.
Yeah.
And I'm just like thankful, like, he didn't fucking die, or that he could have ran into the back of a Mack truck or some shit, not paying attention because he's texting and driving. So it's that's even close to home in that sense. And then just even we're going too far further back, going backwards now, but I actually know people that have passed away from being distracted and driving. Whether it was they were looking for something, an application in their phone, they might not actually have been texting, but looking for an application in their phone, maybe to get up their Shazam or whatever the fuck it is to listen to music or whatever.
Right. Messing with the radio, getting something to drink.
No evidence of them texting somebody, but they had their phone, whatever was going on. Whoever else was in the car was able to say, they were on their phone. And then the thing that really lit the fire under my ass that made me want to do this talk is I came home from work. I backed into my driveway. I normally just go straight in the garage and go inside. But I don't know. I was lingering on the driveway. I was smoking. I was chilling. I'm like, it's after work. I'm just reading some mail. And it's hard to explain, but like there's a straight road in front of me. And I have a direct view of a right turn that you could make. So it's almost like a T. It's almost like a T, and I'm right here on the T. So I can see that turn.
Okay.
So there's this guy on his bicycle coming down this way, going across this opening in the street. And he's wearing a bright red jacket. I see him all the time. He's got his headphones in. He's working out. He's doing whatever. This car, and he's riding on the right side of the road. This car is coming up behind him, goes around him, and I guess is trying to come down this way. So they go around him and almost T-bone the fuck out of him and run him over. So he jumps off the bike. He's like, what the fuck? The guy stops, and he's standing in the middle of the road with his bike, and he picks up his bike, and he's like, you could tell he's shaking. Because he's got his headphones in. He probably didn't even, hear what the fuck was happening. So that SUV just kind of goes around and goes down that road. So I honk my horn. I wave at the guy. He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I saw the whole thing. That was fucking crazy. He's like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm just very thankful that, I didn't die. I just want to go home. And he was very shaken. So he left. Yeah. And part of me wanted to drive down that road and see who that was. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I am. So
what does this guy look like?
I drive down the road. I start to drive down the road, and before I can even get to that opening, the same fucking SUV comes back up. So we kind of we're passing each other. So I'm like, what the fuck? I know there's a cul-de-sac back there. So I have to assume that they just turned down there to use the cul-de-sac and come back. And then they turned and left my neighborhood. So I'm like, they don't even live there. But I saw the guy in his phone. And even then, when I was trying to go, he kind of would start stopping. It's almost like, fuck, bro. You almost hit some dude on a bicycle. He almost kind of hit my car a little bit. And he doesn't even live there, so he's not even paying attention.
That's never enough.
Complete fucking idiocy. So
close calls are never enough for people, man. They have to really fuck up before they get it.
So I don't know about you, but I know you had a close call yourself, and an accident yourself that you're still recovering from every day. I mean, how do you typically deal with texting and driving? If you have if you're going somewhere, are you in the car with other people and notice that they text and drive, or do you say anything? Or
yeah, I say something. I'm not quiet about that. I don't like it. For one, I'm still I guess you could say shook up or PTSD or whatever you want to call it. I just know that I don't want to wreck again, you know. And I don't care what's going on in the car. Everything outside the car is so much more important, you know. Not, I don't drive anymore. I lost my Jeep. I let my license expire for I don't know how long now because I haven't had a vehicle. Uh, I'm on Social Security and I don't get really enough money to save any money towards a vehicle. And then insurance, gas, maintenance, all that. I just really can't afford one right now.
But like if you're in the car with maybe family and you see somebody
Okay.
just pulling the phone out real quick to send a message, I mean, do you cuss them out or do you slap them upside the face or what do you do? Do you wait till you get to your destination to say something or do you do anything?
No. I don't want to say anybody's name. You know, I'm not here to bash anybody, but somebody in particular that I've been riding with a lot over the last few months likes to play with their phone. Not play with it, but check stuff here and there, change a song or check the map, the GPS or put it in. The first time I rode with this person, it wasn't really my place at first. I thought, well, maybe this was just a one-time thing. After I saw a pattern, I addressed it, and I wasn't, rainbows and sunshine about it, but I definitely could have been more of an asshole if I so choose to,
Do you think do you think people should assign like text buddies or phone buddies or whatever the fuck you want to call it? Like if you and I are driving somewhere and I'm like, fuck, my friend's messaging me right now. Hey, can you just tell them I'm driving or whatever? Hand you the phone or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
if you have somebody in your car, they're your wingman. They should be responsible for everything in the car while you worry about everything
keeping everybody
outside
alive.
of it.
Right. You're worried about keeping everybody alive and getting to point B. Because we were looking at we were looking at some statistics. I was trying to look at a couple of things. I wanted to look at what the stats were last year. Fuck, I don't know what happened. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, man. Somebody fucking called me. Somebody fucking called me. Sorry, I had to ignore your call. I'm driving right now. But John and I were looking at some statistics. I wanted to compare some of the death rates for last year and where we are right now. I was looking on DMV.org. There's an article by Bridget Clerkin. She wrote it April 28, 2017. And I'll bring up some of the stats right now.
Yeah, I tried to tab out and look at those, and that's what hung up on you.
Oh, no, I actually had a call from somebody in Florida. I don't even know who it was.
Oh, okay.
I probably deleted their number. I mean, I don't know who it is. But this article, she actually summed up 2015 when she wrote the article in 2017. But she said that as of that time, 2015, they had 3,477 total deaths, 3,196 fatal car wrecks, 391,000 injuries. So people are getting more and more having most of it are accidents where they're injured versus actually dying from it. But people are still dying from it, obviously. when I look at there's a real-time website that I'm looking at, 2018 real time from January 1st to today's date, April 14th. It's www.romans322.com. It has everything from heart disease, cancer, medical errors, stroke, you name it. Any major way that somebody can go out is on there. And of course, now they have included texting and driving. So when you compare the numbers, here's a good example. Murder by a gun is at, as of this year, is at 3,257 deaths. And texting while driving is at 1,697. It's about half the amount of people
Roughly half,
dying
yeah.
by gun. So, I mean, that's just stunning. And then when you look, okay, well, it's going in greatest to least deaths. So, okay, well, what do people die less of compared to texting and driving? Well, pedestrians crossing the street, getting hit by a fucking car crossing the street, like this kid on the bicycle, he didn't die, but in that type of scenario, 1,417. So we have an extra, 280 people die more this year of texting and driving than being hit by a car crossing the street. Below that is drowning at 1,110. Fire-related, 992. I mean, so it's a serious thing. I mean, you're over here worried about, maybe drowning at the pool, passing out, or your house catching on fire, or, domestic violence even, or just being a pedestrian crossing the fucking street. Texting while driving is above all of those and right under murder by gun. It's half the amount of murder by gun. I just thought that was fucking mind-blowing. What I want to do is I want to empower people to stop and think about it. You're trying to get to. Oh, I'm having some interference from the AC, I think.
Right now?
It's well, now it's good. Yeah, now it's good. But I want to empower people.
I have the window open.
To think about, okay, when I get in my car, I'm taking my life into my own hands, and especially, we might drive a little bit different when we're alone, and we might drive a little bit different when we have other people in the car, sure. But,
right.
If the idea is I want to get to point B alive, I mean,
from A to B safely, yeah.
We'll all point a finger at somebody for, maybe drinking and driving to the point where they're inebriated and they're, plowing people over while they're driving. Sure. But when it comes to the texting thing, people don't seem to tally those together. I mean, looking at the real-time stats again, drinking and driving, 9,582 deaths. I mean, it's almost like, 7 times the texting while driving. But studies are showing that the biggest distraction you can have while driving is texting. I mean, versus the radio or talking to somebody in the car, turning around, yelling at your kids for jumping around in the back seat.
Yeah.
They're saying it's a trifecta. You have
yeah.
Well, it's saying that there's a trifecta. You're affected by visual, by your visual capabilities. Instead of watching the road, you're looking for a message or the lights or signals inside of the car versus outside of the car.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing the red light, you're seeing the notification from your Facebook or whatever it is. And then, your manual, how are you able to have your hands on the wheel, right, at 10 and 2, or the ability to use your indicator or whatever it is, changing gears or whatever you got to do if your hand is completely incapacitated with the phone. If you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, and even let's say you're a master, Paul Guinness, you're a master at texting and driving, no problems. But here comes Mike Carey next to you. He's driving like an idiot. You're not able to really respond to it because now you have to drop the phone and try to figure out. I mean, that's not good. And then
just another distraction. When you drop something, it's a distraction. When you drop something, it's a distraction to you.
Exactly. Okay, and that's another thing. If you drop your phone,
anytime you drop something, you feel like you have to reach for it right now.
Right now.
You got to have it back in your hand. Doesn't matter if it's a soda.
You're fishing for it between the seat. I mean, it snowballs into taking priority over actually living and getting to the point that you want to be. The third part of the trifecta was cognitive, and I think you were touching on that. They were saying that your mind is no longer on driving, but manipulation of other devices.
Right.
And it's really saddening when you think about some people dying while they're doing like a live feed like this. Any live feed that I did that was in the car, I would have it in the center console, and I wouldn't be looking at, the camera. Or I had Xavier one time in the car holding it for me. But I'm not perfect, and sometimes I'll be tempted to pick my phone up. It's almost like a drug. Like you're in the car, if you're by yourself, you want your mind stimulated, and you're trying to
Right.
things
Well,
to do.
people are addicted to their phones, and when they don't access them, they go through a withdrawal. I mean, yeah, they do. I mean, phones bring you happiness. It gets the dopamine and stuff in your brain flowing, and when you put your phone down, you're no longer experiencing those, and so you get this sense of, well, now what? So you want to grab your phone, you want to stay connected, you want to be interested in what everybody else is interested in, or be the topic of conversation,
especially if you're having an argument and someone just made a point, and you want to get back. Yeah, it's like drop what you're doing. I gotta respond right fucking now. And I had somebody message me on my Facebook, and he said, I won't say his name, but he said, well, what are we supposed to do if you text me while I'm driving and I read your text and that causes me to pass away? I mean, there's no way for me to know. Yeah, pull over. Exactly. You can pull over. If it's not that serious for you to pull over, if you feel like, well, that's going to have me lose some time, then just wait till you get home. I was telling him about, Apple has, if anyone has an Apple product or an iPhone, they have a setting on the phone where you can put it in drive mode, basically. And it'll do it automatically. It'll sense when the phone is moving faster than average walking speed. And you won't be able to see any notifications, get any random calls, or know that anything's going on. The phone will be frozen. When you get to a stop sign, maybe, or a stop light, when you're stopped for a certain amount of time, then the notifications will pop up again. But you pretty much won't be able to do shit with your phone other than call 911. For those that still have flip phones, maybe, or maybe you have an Android, I'm not, keen on what Android has done to match Apple with that. But I just basically told him, I said, well, you can either turn your phone off, or you can apologize to me when you strike my vehicle and kill my child.
Yeah, man.
So that's kind of the shit I wanted to get off my chest, is that, I mean, it is a real fucking thing that's going on. A lot of people will say, well, I'm fine when I drink and drive. I know how to do it. Some people will say, oh, I'm a master at texting and driving. I'm a multitasker, and that's how they justify, and that's how they they put this shit in my phone, or in my car, I should say, right? I have all these buttons and gadgets on my steering wheel. I have buttons to lower the windows and do all these different things. I have a sunroof. What's the difference if I have my phone? And it's like, well, the idea is those things you're probably looking at for a few seconds. Right? I mean, if you're looking at the radio now, they have the touch thing with your thumb and the steering wheel to change radio stations and Bluetooth for calls and things of that nature. But the texting, I think there are some vehicles out there where you can push a button and you can dictate, and it'll send a text message to whoever. But most cars don't.
Voice for text.
Most cars don't have that shit. So you just really have to look at yourself and say, okay, I'm about to get in my car. Do I have anything that I want to send anybody right now? Or who do I think might text me? Oh, John was supposed to call me in 20 minutes. Let me just tell him, hey, I'm going to be driving. I'll let you know when I'm done. Like some of these disclaimer or preemptive texts I'm getting in my car if you're expecting a call from somebody. Otherwise, it's like people forgot about voicemail. Do you leave voicemails?
No.
Why not? Why don't you?
You can text, man.
Because you can text. It's like a It's like a forgotten receptacle. Like, okay, you can send me a message, and if I don't respond, or I can set up an automatic reply on my phone that says I'm driving. That I can just one touch. But it just really gets me down, man. And did you have anything?
Well, you know what I think it is, Mike? I think it comes down to a sense of entitlement, man. People seem to value their time more than they do anybody else's.
Okay.
And so they speed because they have to get to where they're going as if nobody else on the road has to get to where they're going. Or, they can be distracted because they're so good, or, they can multitask, or that won't happen to them. That it hasn't happened so far, and look how many times I've been on my
Right.
phone, so and well, it's just for a second, it won't hurt. What they don't realize is when you're going, and I don't know I don't know the math on this or the numbers
Yeah.
here, but if you're going, 65 miles an hour and you look away from the road, for 2 seconds, how long? I mean,
You've traveled a
that's
few.
like 50,
You've traveled either a mile
that's like
or
50 feet,
so.
isn't
Right.
it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A mile an hour,
And then
60. Yeah.
whether it's whether it's messing with the radio is one thing,
That's a mile a minute.
but I feel like if you're gonna mess with the radio, you should have spatial awareness and muscle memory as to where those knobs are without having to look for them. Um, yeah, if you're gonna use your phone while you're driving, do it when you stop or you're at a light, but do it right when you stop at a light, not in between, because then the light could turn green and you won't know, and then people are honking at you. But
I've
man,
been that person. I said, "Oh, now's my time to use my phone to get all my messages."
yeah,
And then I get the honk.
same here, man.
But I'd rather the honk than
Same here.
being woken up in a hospital and everybody looking over me and tubes are being put in me, and you know that's why I titled this talk "Text It to My Tombstone," because
Yeah, dude.
you're constantly being tempted to look away, constantly being tempted, and nobody
Right, and
means to do that to you. Nobody means to do that to you. It's ultimately your responsibility. You've made a commitment
right,
to
it's
taking your eyes off the road.
self-discipline, self-control. Yeah,
It's a little scary. Like, you have to have the discipline, I guess is the word. You have to have the discipline to
yeah,
come back to it later. But yeah, I'm
yeah.
gonna.
A conversation is not near as important as a life, man. I don't care who's on the other end, what's going on. It can happen so fast, man. I want to say, I know that the night that I wrecked, I was texting and driving. It was 11 or 12 when I did wreck, but I know that I was texting and driving, and I don't know if that's what caused
Mhm.
it. I hit pretty hard, and there's some details I don't remember, but I was upset with myself for a long time, over that fact that I think I might have been texting when I wrecked, and maybe even possibly dropped my phone and reached down to get it, you know, and my Jeep was a standard. I mean, I have to,
Yeah.
man, things could have been so much worse. That I could have died, and just no, the conversation I was having at the time was so pointless. Anyways, I was arguing with somebody about something.
Okay.
Uh, my ex, as a matter of fact, and just, she knew I was on the way, and she knew to expect me. There was no reason to keep texting me, and there was manipulation on her end as to if I didn't respond, then it was, I didn't care,
The
or
silence meant
whatever.
something, or
So
right.
yeah, yeah.
And that's the thing.
But
It's
man,
you're constantly feeling like the urge to continue, and then you just made a point. You're gonna go over there anyway, so we can just talk when I
right,
get there.
right.
If I get there.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah. I'm a paraplegic because I was fucking with my phone, man. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, man. Yeah. I almost died, bro.
well, I'm glad that you didn't, man.
If you guys text and drive, man, I really urge you guys to reevaluate your priorities, dude. I mean, anybody, whether you're messing with your kid, messing with something that you dropped, reaching for something in the back or in the passenger seat or in the glove box, just keep your eyes on the road and your surroundings. you know, be aware of the situation. And man, whatever it is can wait. Google can wait. YouTube can wait. Facebook can wait. Text messages, phone calls, all that stuff. Unless you can go hands-free, all that stuff is way less important than my life. So if I see you doing it, I'm going to say something. I don't care who it is, man.
Yeah, now I've been more vocal.
That's blatant disrespect.
I used to just shake my head and be like, well, you know, that's not me. I'm not going to do that. I'm in this car with somebody. And then, right. But now I start looking at it like I'm in the car with somebody. So I'm gonna say, hey, you know, if we're gonna drive, I gotta know you're not gonna be in your phone. And people will get kind of defensive about that, and you know, like you're telling me about myself and how to live, and you're trying to tell me what to do, and it's like
you're attacking their ability to multitask.
Exactly. That's not what it's about. I want to live.
You can drive.
I want to live. I want to get
you drive however you want to without me in the car.
Exactly.
When I'm in the car, you drive how I feel comfortable.
Exactly.
I'm your passenger. You know, I get fucking pissed off about that, man. I don't like people, distracted drivers. You know, it's one thing to be out on like some country roads where I'm from and going, you know, 20 miles an hour, just chilling. You know, there's nobody else on the road, dirt roads, and messing with stuff. You know, you're not gonna hurt. If you do get hurt, you're gonna hurt yourself and nobody else, man. Just, man, any conversation can wait. Game responses, notifications, phone calls, just, yeah, man.
That's what, you know.
I'm sorry.
That's why I was a little confused a few years ago when cars were coming out with like DVD players and things like this in the car. And I'm like, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be watching a movie while you're driving? Or I guess you'll catch a little bit here at the stoplight or whatever. Or you really, I'm like, you know, they have podcasts, you know, they have audiobooks, they have these type of things. But where it requires your visual concentration, that's going to fall into a distraction category. I mean, I don't know if they even make cars with DVD players in a minute, you know, anymore.
With cars with DVD players in?
Like, you know, I don't know if they still do that. Do they still make cars with video players?
I don't know if they come factory, but there are aftermarket DVD players you can install, you know. And they have security settings where you can't watch the video while you're driving, but there is a way to get past those, and it's not hard. I mean,
like I know my
and the thing with the phone,
like I know my Bluetooth won't connect if I'm driving, you know. And I have to say, oh shit, Mike, yeah, you're driving, bro. Like, you know, wait till you're at a fucking stoplight. That Apple thing with the driving that disables the communication, that's good and all, but it ultimately depends on that person. If they think that, you know, if they choose not to activate that, then it does no good. That's true.
It does no good.
Because you do have to manually turn it on. They don't automatically make it to where you have to go in and undo it. You have to go in and start it. So that's, I mean, it's some good. It's better than nothing. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. But let's go ahead and wrap up this talk. I just wanted to get that shit off my chest, and I appreciate you being honest and open about, you know, your circumstances. Obviously, you learned from that. You know, it would suck if they have to put on your tombstone LO. You know, and that was the last message that Jon was trying to send. He was trying to send some LOL, and you know, he died. And the world keeps turning. You know, life goes on. You know, it's fucked. But yeah, this is Mike Carey with The One Good Reason. Appreciate your time watching, everybody. And this is Jon Hoskins in Oklahoma. And we're gonna be signing off. Enjoy your weekends. Be safe, and don't text and drive. And you know, back smack or uppercut anybody in the car with you who's got your life in their hands, who decides to text.
You're that big if you text and drive, man. You can wait.
All right, Jon. Appreciate it.
See you
later.